Hi everyone, look, Diana's on the chat today. I've just said, I've been reading about the Tai Yin.
Cool.
Because we're doing the circle of the meridians, and we've done lung, large intestine, stomach, and spleen, and the lung and the spleen are all part of the Tai Yin. So I thought we could maybe do some theme stuff over the next couple of weeks, investigating why the lungs and the spleen might be connected. Anyway, morning, Liz, Mary, Carolyn, just say hi on the chat, and we'll get going.
And I'll disappear, but I'll be...
Yeah, okay, we'll see you later on the chat, in the chat. Okay. Fantastic. So I'm just going to quickly share some slides for a second as everyone is arriving. Just to remind you, we're meeting every week. We've now done over 2 years of meetings, and we are going round an epic journey around the Meridian system, and we're taking a whole year to do it. And what we're doing is we're doing one meridian a month, and we started off in January working on the lungs, and that's to do with you'll see it's connected to the 24-hour cycle. So the lungs are active between 3 and 5. And the idea is that all the meridians, as we'll find out, or we've been finding out, all connect together into one big long string that kind of connects all the way through the body. And there's lots of meaning and all kinds of interesting things embedded in that cycle and how they move around. So we've done the lungs, the large intestine, we've done the stomach, February, March, and then April we're into the spleen, which is to do with clear thinking, which we could all do with lots of. And also converting food into Qi. And as I was saying to Diana, I've just been reading this book by my great friend Daniel Qi, who wrote The Spark in the Machine. And I was just reading this morning actually about the links between the lungs and the spleen, because they are connected embryologically. And that's why the meridians are in a similar position on the arms and the legs. They're kind of all the same meridian embryologically. So I thought we could maybe explore that in our exercises today. We're going to be doing the usual scanning type of exercises, but I thought also today, what I'd like to do is do the poll that relates to whether we feel our energies up or down. In other words, how grounded we are, how connected to the heavens, because that links directly with the lungs and the spleen. So what we'll do first of all is I'm going to just get us to stand. Let me just quickly take this off. And so you can see before. So yeah, we're going to just stand and just see whether we are feeling more connected upwards or downwards or kind of in the middle. And then we'll do a poll and we'll find out. Okay, so I'm going to stand up first of all. If you'd like to do the same, I'm just going to tune in. We're not going to do anything active at the moment, just tuning in. We're just going to see how our energy is connected up and down. So we go internally. And we're just going to sense how we feel. Do we feel like kind of more heavy and our energy going down into the earth? Or do we feel a little bit ungrounded? Do we feel more like we're going up like this? Or do we feel pretty much in the middle? And we're going to work on that in a moment. So just make a note of that, and I'll run the poll straight away. We'll get straight into it. Is your energy 2 up, 2 down, or about right? I'm going to share that now. Let's just see how we're doing as a group. Okay, there we are. Look. Oh, interesting. We've got quite a big majority voting for feeling a little bit too heavy and a bit too connected to the earth. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of generate a bit of energy into that connection, and we can use this poll and how you're feeling in exploring the links between the lungs and the spleen, as I was just saying before, the so-called Tai Yin system in Chinese medicine. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we're going to do a whole body scan, and then we're going to draw the whole body scan, and then we'll go into the burners, and we'll see how the burners are today. So here we go. So we're going to just stand, and we'll do the whole body scan. So we're going to scan from the top of our head, and we're going to scan through the head, through the skull, through the jaw, through the throat. Okay, the throat's very much connected to the lungs. We're going to go through the shoulders, down the arms. It's internally scanning through the upper part of the body, down through our diaphragm, into the abdominal area, the whole digestive system, and then scanning down through into the hips, down into the legs, knees and feet. Okay, so now just step back a little bit from yourself, tune into the whole body. Just notice if there's any areas of holding. I've got a few. Or anywhere where it feels a little bit weak. Okay, and then turn that into a picture. And then just run and get your paper and pens, and we'll quickly draw a whole body scan before we do the three heaters. Okay, cool. Okay, so a whole body scan. I've got a couple of things I need to work on today. I'm feeling a bit tight around the sacrum, and there's something going on in my upper back. So this is my whole body scan today. Woohoo! Definitely need some work there. Okay, so now it's tuning into the heaters. So we've got our 3 zones. Now the lungs are related to the upper heater, unsurprisingly, and the spleen's related to the middle heater. But let's just see how we're doing all together. What we'll do is we'll scan all 3 heaters, and then we'll draw them, and then we'll vote to see what's happening today in the group. So we'll start off with the upper heater. We're going to work down today, just for a change. So tuning in to the upper heater. This is the so-called Zong Qi. It's very important energy for regulating the heart, and also for bringing Qi into the body. So it's really worth tuning into this area here. And what we're looking for is we're looking for a nice easy intake of breath to bring the Qi into the breath. And we're looking for a nicely regulated upper heater in terms of the heartbeat, because we want the heartbeat to be nice and steady, because that's one of the main circulatory, obviously the main circulatory energy systems we have with the blood. So tune into your upper heater. See how that feels. And then we're going to go down to the middle burner. This is where the spleen is as well. The spleen meridian is related to the digestive system. We need that for bringing food in and digesting the food. Again, it's very important for the development of Qi in the body. Okay, and then we go down into the lower heater, and this is related to the nervous system, the adrenal system in Chinese medicine, and it regulates the whole hormonal system of the body. So it's really important again for regulating what's going on. And again, that should be you should feel fairly strong all the way around into the lower back. You don't want it to be cold and certainly not hot. Okay, now let's just take a step back again and just compare the 3. Ask yourself, do they all feel the same? And if they don't, which one would you like to work on? It's a bit of a difficult one for me this week. I'm hovering between 2, I must say. But I'm going to draw them in anyway. Okay, so this is my 3 heaters. It's a very close call today, but let's find out how we're doing as a group. We've had some amazing fluctuations, as you know, over the months and years that we've been doing this. So let's find out which burner would you like to work on most today. Let's run that poll and see what we get. It's the return of the lower burner. Look at that. The upper burner has been, let's just see if we can get a few more votes in. If anyone else can vote, we'll just see. It looks to me like the lower burner is starting to edge ahead now. The last few weeks, if you remember, oh, look at this. We've gone completely even. Brilliant. Does there anyone else want to vote? No? Okay. Yeah, we've had a very long run of upper burner being completely way ahead of the other burners. I thought for a moment the lower burner was going to catch up, but no. Okay, we've actually got a completely even voting. So that's easy for me to choose which burner to work on. So that's a very good background for the idea of working on this balancing thing. Okay, which is basically how I'd interpret the first poll. Is what we need to do is we need to lighten up the spleen, increase our Qi from the food, and what we'd like to do is also energize the connection with the heavens through the lungs. Okay, so let's go. Right, here we go. Okay, so we're going to start off a little bit different this week. We're going to work on the upper heater to start with, and the so-called Zong Qi. Okay, the so-called Qi of the chest, which is made up of the Qi of the heart and the lungs. Yeah. So let's first of all do a little bit of shaking to loosen up our body. And if you're feeling a little bit weak, take it really, really easy. Just take it really easy. If you're feeling a bit more obstructed and you feel you need to move, then you can shake out a little bit more. What we're going to do is we're going to focus first of all on the upper burner. This is related to the upper thoracic here. So what we're going to do is we're going to shake the shoulders out of it. But we're going to rotate them backwards as well. And this is opening up lung 1 and opening up the pericardium area as well. Okay, we're going to go internally. We're going to relax the throat, relaxing the jaw. Okay, take some nice deep breaths and see if you can feel the connection between the ribs and the thoracic spine here, because this whole structure, when we breathe in, expands, and we want to free up any intercostal tension. There's muscles between the ribs here. We're going to take some nice deep breaths in and shake them out, wriggle them out a bit, free up that upper burner. Okay, so now let's really work on that whole feeling too much up and feeling too much down through the lungs. There's two aspects to this. One is the internal, almost like a spiritual connection with the heavens that comes up through the crown chakra. There's the bringing in of the Qi from the air, so that comes in this way. And then there's the lung function of descending the Qi down through the body. This is one of the main functions of the lung in Chinese medicine. So let's explore that for a bit. We're going to just keep shaking a bit. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can spontaneously move into a lung stretch by internally activating the channel. A little bit different this week from what we've done before. So we're going to stand feet shoulder width apart. Okay. And what I'd like you to do is just get in touch with the throat and your feeling of your lungs. Very much an internal feeling here. Okay. And now let's track our breathing. So we're going to breathe in. I want you to imagine, like I'm doing, imagining light or energy coming in with the breath. And it's filling up the whole of the lungs. We're going to fill up the whole of this upper burner with Qi. We breathe out, just the air comes out. Okay, now Western physiological terms, this is oxygenation of the blood and expelling carbon dioxide. From Chinese medicine point of view, we're talking about more of a spiritual connection with those lungs, bringing in that air, bringing the Qi into the body, keeping the Qi there, and then breathing out. Okay, breathing in and breathing out. Okay, now let's just see if we can spontaneously start to move the body as we breathe in. Focusing on this area, there's a tendency to want to open out this way. Do you get that? So we're breathing in and breathing out. Natural movement, breathing in. You notice that the thumbs tend to move outwards, opening up the lung channel. Okay, so at the moment what we're doing is we're keeping that Qi in the lungs and we're exhaling the carbon dioxide or the excess, the unused air. Okay, now you notice that as you do that, we can exaggerate this movement. Okay, you see how we're naturally going into that lung stretch and breathing out, going down. Now, the Makahoa Meridian stretch is just an extension of that, where we go up, round, and then instead of coming back down, we link the thumbs link with the lung channel, and we go down like this. Breathing out. And breathing. Out. Okay, excellent. Okay, now, I don't know about you, I can feel the Qi now really building in the zone Qi building, which is the Qi of the chest starting to really starting to build now. And I would recommend if you're feeling a bit weak in this area here, that you build that up first before we do the next things, which is activating the channels. So let's do some activation of the channels. Remember, this is the looping that we've done in the very first, we started this off in January. So what we're going to do is we're going to lightly tap the channels, but we're not going to do it just isolating the channels. We're going to link it with the Qi that we've built up in the chest. Okay, this is very important. So we're going to tune to that Qi in the chest. Okay, I'm going to stimulate the channels. And the idea is we go down, we find any points, here's lung 3, by the way, any points that make this seem easier to bring that breath in. So we're directing the do-in to enhance the intake of Qi into the lungs, okay? And this is the best way to do it. Let's see what we've got here, breathing in. So just try to do this, try tapping around lung 5 and take a breath in. Feel a connective tissue connection all the way up, and that's the channel being activated, breathing out. Okay, and we go down a bit more. There we are, we're in lung 10, and we're going to go back up the large intestine channel just to make a circuit. Okay, did you get the idea? So we're monitoring the breathing as we do the tapping, and we're mainly focusing on internally building up that Qi in the upper burner. This is actually my favourite point. This is really good for opening the chest. Lung 5, I'm just tapping it there, right on the elbow. Okay, one more time. I'm just going to give lung 1 a bit of a tap around here. That's just underneath the collarbone here. Okay, very good. Excellent. Okay, now try this. If you take a deep breath in and you compare this side of your lungs with this side that we haven't worked now, just see if you can feel a little bit of a difference there. I can feel the channel activating. I can definitely feel this is freer on this side, which means the meridian work has done its job. Okay, so we better do the other side now. So let's tap here. 1. Okay, so again, we're breathing in. Activating the points and breathing out. And just tapping back up the large intestinal meridian. Here we go, lung. Okay, so we're really concentrating on the points that are really going to make a difference here. Lung 5 is one of them, I think. And then maybe you might feel some stuff around here. This is good for opening up the throat, lung 10, if you remember, which is right on the ball of the thumb there. But let's just see what's happening now. Okay. Okay, that feels pretty good to me. We've got nice tingling here, all the way through here. The lungs are nicely being filled. Much less holding in the intercostals, and we're gathering the Qi in the Zongqi in the chest. Okay, so now, very important, the second thing is to emphasize the downward action of the lungs. And what that means basically is that as we breathe out, we want the Qi from the lungs to descend down through the body, down towards the feet. Do you want to try it? Okay, and this is what it feels like. Very internal. Let's just keep relaxed. Keep that nice channel open in the arms. Let's first of all bring the Qi into the lungs. Hold it for a second. Really feel it filling up the whole of the upper burner. Okay? And then slowly breathe out. And this time, just using your mind, direct the Qi down through the diaphragm, down into the lower burner. Let's collect it in the lower burner for now. Okay, breathing out. Did you get it? Okay, here's a little hint to make it a little bit easier. Let's place our hands over the lower dantian. Okay, so we've got somewhere to focus the Qi. Ready? Breathing in. Okay, hold it there. Breathe out. Send that Qi down towards your hand. Oh, very good. Okay, let's do it one more time. Breathing in. And breathing out. Got it? Okay, so now we're going to go one step further. We're going to send it all the way down to the feet. We're going to send it right down to the spleen 3, kidney 1 area on the foot. Ready? Let's see if this is a challenge. Let's see if we can do this. So we're going to breathe in. Breathe out. Send the Qi down into the lower part of the hara. And then send it all the way down, relaxing the hips, down through the knees, down through into the feet. Okay, excellent. Let's do it another couple of times, breathing in. Breathing in. And breathing out. Okay, excellent. Now, did you notice we've got quite a nice feeling of energizing here, but we've also got kind of a nice connection with the earth as well because of the descending function. Absolutely great. Well done. Okay, so now let's go onto the middle burner and work downwards today. Okay, so why are the lungs and the spleen connected? They're connected, the spleen channel and the lung channels are connected embryologically because they're to do with the early development of tubes in the body that separate the outside from the inside. And they're all kind of the same system way back in the early stages of the development of us when we're developing from a single cell. Okay, now when you think about it, what we're doing is we're bringing the outside into the lungs, and we've got an exchange going on between the Qi and the air into the body through the oxygenation of blood. But basically, there's basically an interchange through into the body. So we've got the outside and the inside. And the same thing with the spleen, because the spleen is to do with digestion. So we've got the whole digestive tract all the way down to the anus from the mouth, all the way through, down through the intestines, in the stomach and everything. And that's one continuous tube, which again is a connection between the outside. You bring the food in, it goes in, and the food absorbs out and goes into the body. And so that's why the lungs and the spleen are very similar. It's just the lungs are kind of, we breathe air, and the spleen, we digest food. So bearing that in mind, what we want to do to get ourselves grounded, feel connected with the earth, digest the food, is we have to regulate the spleen and the stomach. So let's move down to the middle burner now, and we'll do that. We'll work the spleen and the stomach meridians. Let's rub our hands together. Okay, so now this is a Qi Gong exercise for the stomach and spleen. we're going to bring the hands over the middle of the digestive system here, right around the navel. And we do that, what we're going to do is we are going to relax the whole digestive tract. So we're going to imagine the connection between the mouth all the way down through the throat, down through the esophagus, the digestive tubes, all the way down through the diaphragm, goes through the whole of the diaphragm, goes into the stomach, then it goes into the small intestine, which is more or less where we are here now, and then round the large intestine, and then into the rectum. So we just imagine that as a whole tube. So let's see if we can visualize that internally. We're going to relax that as much as we can, all the way from the mouth, all the way to the anus, all the way through. Just relaxing that. Okay, and we're using a visualization. We're imagining, we're just kind of allowing that ability to eat and to digest into the system. Okay, and what we're going to do now is we're going to activate that and relax it by rotating. First of all, we're going to do it nice and locally. So we're just literally rubbing our tummy to relax it. And as we do that, we start to expand the circle. And this then encompasses the stomach organ, that is, and the intestines. Just keeping that visualization, that awareness of the whole digestive tract. Very good. Okay, so now energetically we're going to connect with the feet. So we're going to relax the hips. Imagine the stomach and spleen channels, remember where they are on the front of the legs. Imagine them connecting down into the feet. Very good, keep the circle nice and big. Excellent. Okay, now we can just energize the spleen channel, come back and see whether this feels any different in the middle, okay? A bit like we did with the lungs. So we start off here, we're going to just tap lightly here. We're going to go down the spleen channel, nice and slowly. And as we do that, we're just feeling out, is there anywhere that we can literally feel this area relaxing? I'll put some places around here myself. Go down around the knees, let's see what we've got here. Down. Okay, and we get to the feet, we're going to go up the stomach channel, which is the yang channel. We've got stomach 36 here, point for the digestion. We go up, stomach channel, and back into the abdomen again. Okay, so let's do that another couple of times, just tapping down the spleen. Stomach. Very good, a bit of shaking the legs. Okay, and then we go back to the spleen and stomach. It's just around the navel here, just around here where we're going to be, we're just rubbing that area there and just see what it feels like. Okay, same thing again. We're going to float the head up, keep the back nice and relaxed. Put the hands together again, and we've got a nice relaxed, that feels different. Nice rotation all the way around, and then bigger all the way around here. Excellent. Okay, so I just thought it might be really useful for us to energetically connect the spleen and the lung channels by just doing one pass with the Doin exercises. And just to remind you of that circuit, you notice that the spleen and the spleen and stomach are on the front of the legs, and the lung and large intestine are on the front of the arms. So we've got this kind of position here, which is exactly mirrored in the body structure. And that again goes back to the early embryology of when we're developing. So just to kind of make that connection really clear, let's just do one tapping circuit and see how we feel. All right, so we're going to go lung, just once down the lung channel, up the large intestine channel, and then we go up onto the just outside the nose here, if you remember, large intestine 20. Lung. On the other side, we go lung, large intestine, back up here to large intestine 20. And that's a welcome smell. I can feel that working straight away. Clears the nose out brilliantly. And we go up here and connect with stomach 1. If you remember, that's just below the eye. Goes down through here, through the front of the neck, tapping the front of the body. This is the stomach channel. And then up the spleen channel. Okay, shake out. And now let's try this. Connect down into your thumb from the chest. And now connect down into your big toe, down the front inside of the legs. And see if you can feel a resonance there between the front of the inside of the legs and the lung front of the arms, the lung channel. Okay? And if you can feel kind of like a buzzing or similarity through it, what you're experiencing there is you're experiencing the Tai Yin level of the meridians, which is the level of borders between the interior and the exterior. And if you get problems with your breathing, problems with the digestion, or maybe a combination of two, where you're getting breathing problems, maybe some digestive problems, maybe constipation, as well as, say, breathing problems like asthmatic conditions. If you've got that combination, then it could be a really good idea to look at that Tai Yin level. And the way we did it today is just ideal for you because it's very internal. We're bringing in the Qi into the lungs rather than just going straight into the tapping. Getting that Qi to build up, then descend it down the body. And then to work on the digestive system, visualizing the whole digestive tract is a really good idea, so we can relax it, and then use the channels to connect up with the internal organs. Hope that was helpful. Okay, so now it's time for the famous, not the upper, not the middle, but the lower burner. Okay, and as we know, the lower burner is really, really important. We need that to kind of anchor everything together. And we should find already that we can get nice connection with the lower burner in terms of breathing because we've done so much work on the lungs. But let's just try it and see what happens. So now I've got my hands on the lower dantian. I'm relaxing. Relaxing the hips, feeling the connection with the earth. Okay, and we're going to slowly breathe into the lower part of the abdomen here, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing that Qi down into the lower abdomen. Nice bit of descending Qi from the lungs, really good. We're holding it there and breathing out and letting the Qi connect into the lower dantian there. Okay, very good. So now let's just work a little bit on bladder 23, which is this point here, right in the middle of the lower back. If that's too much for your shoulders, don't worry, just keep doing this and project the energy down through into the back. Very good. Okay, excellent. Okay, so relaxing and shaking out. Okay, just tuning in again now. What we should get is a nice feeling of openness here. The Zong Qi's been stimulated. Nice feeling of freedom in the upper body. Nice and relaxed digestion. And now we're starting to activate the lower burner. So you can feel a nice warmness here and activation there. So now it's time to activate the kidney channel. And you know where we're going to start? You know we're going to start. It's going to have to be kidney 1. So let's get my chair. And we can work on kidney 1. Okay, now it'll be interesting this week to do it later in the session because we've already got the Qi from the lungs descending, we've also got the earthing aspect of the spleen channel. So we've got quite a lot going on for us already in terms of connecting with the earth through kidney 1. So it'd be interesting to see what it feels like. So let's get these feet out. And open up here. Just for reference, if you remember last week, we did spleen 3, which is this point where my thumb is here. It's right in this kind of groove there around by this bone. Great point for the back. And grounding. But our favourite point on the feet has to be kidney 1. So let's give it a good tap. And I'm opening up the kidney channel here by stretching my leg here. Excellent, and then stretching up, pressing in. Brilliant. A bit more. Okay, brilliant. There we are. Opening up the foot this way is very good for opening up the yang channels on the foot. Okay, here we go, kidney 1. Remember, it's 1/3 of the distance down the midline of the foot, so it's right in there. Okay, excellent. It'll be good, interesting to see now, won't it? To see how we feel when we stand up. Okay. Oh, I can just tell, just walking actually from the chair, just how amazing that point is. Here we go. Okay, isn't that great to do kidney 1 later sometimes in the session, because already you instantly get that connection there between the lungs descending the Qi and that grounded feeling in the digestion. So let's just really experience that for a bit. Just hold that feeling of connection. What happens now, look, if we take a deep breath in, breathe out, and think of kidney 1, we instantly get a very nice, relaxed, descending feeling. But it's not feeling too heavy. It's a really healthy connection between bringing the Qi in from the air and descending it down. Okay, doesn't that feel great? That feels a really lovely feeling. So let's just give that connection a little bit of a hand by working up from kidney 1 using the kidney channel. So we're just going to bend forwards, put our hands behind the ankles to pick up kidney 3, and just very relaxed, we're going to tap up the inside. This is the kidney channel, it runs into the lower dantian. We come round and go down the back of the legs. This is the bladder channel. Usually what I do when I get here is I turn my hand around and tap with the outside of my hand, because I find it difficult to do this. I don't know if it's the same for you. Okay, move it down here. And then pick up kidney 1 again. Around and up. Okay, now what should happen now, if we just shake our legs out, you should get even better connection between kidney 1 and the lower dantian. Let's check it out and see how it feels. Okay. Ah, great. Okay, what a fantastic feeling. Isn't that really nice? And just check in now with that feeling of balance between heaven and earth. I'd be very surprised if you feel too heavy now, because we've got the upward action of the spleen balancing the downward action of the lungs. And it's just a nice centered feeling in the lower dantian. Kidney 1 is nice and open, and the chest and the digestive is really relaxed. Okay, excellent stuff. So now all we need to do now is just maybe check on a couple of meridians that we skipped over, which is basically the fire element meridians for the heart and the gallbladder for the middle burner. Okay, so I think probably we've got this lovely Qi here, the Zong Qi. So let's do some nice easy stretches to just open up the pericardium channel. Again, this is part of the Zong Qi, the Qi of the chest. So let's just go like this. Okay, but this time what we're going to do is, rather than just go straight into stretch, we're going to do it much more internally. So we're going to tune in internally into the chest, bring the hands like this, and then just wait for a second, connect with our heartbeat internally, feel the connection between the arms and deep into the chest. And we're going to very, very slowly come back like this, breathing out, all the time connecting internally, keeping that Qi in the chest, relaxing the heart. Relaxing it, internal, internal, internal. Okay, and then relax. Got it? So we're very much more coming from the internal perception there. Bring our attention into the heart area again. Let's do this 3 times. Breathing in, breathing out, slowly going out, relaxing the heart area. Just so that you can comfortably feel a stretch to the middle finger. Okay, and then relax. One more time. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, excellent. Let's just do a little bit of light tapping now. We're going to go from the chest here, but again, we're going to keep it very internal. Just going to feel internally what this is doing. Keeping it as light as you can, and then just down to the heart protector, and then up the triple heater channel. Nice and relaxed, all the while we're tuning into that upper burner and just noticing if any areas, anything we're doing is helping that feeling of calm strength that we need in the upper burner. Okay, I'm just massaging around this point here, heart protector 8. It's a really good point called the palace of anxiety. It's good for stress and things like that that can affect the heartbeat. Just massaging that a bit and then shaking out. Okay, so the other side, pericardium. Again, I'm internally tuning in to the heart and the whole chest area. Okay, and I'm massaging Palace of Anxiety, Heart Protector 8. If you remember that when we did that, we've done it a few times now with the elements and so on in previous months, previous Wednesday classes. Okay, and shaking out. Brilliant. Okay, so let's just finish off with a nice liver stretch, which is, again, a middle burner thing. It's to do with the sides of the body. You notice that we worked on the back with the kidney. We've worked on the front with the spleen and the lungs. So what we really need to do is basically start opening up the sides. So how about doing something a bit different? Let's do this side stretch. This is a really nice liver stretch. You breathe in, you come back right, and come right over here, and you stretch with this hand and open up this side of the body. See if you can get the feeling all the way down into the foot. And then come out. And then the other side. You can really feel it opening up the liver and the gallbladder channels in the sides of the body. Lovely. Brilliant. And then we can also work the sides by twisting. So let's keep that head floating up, and we're going to twist left and right. Again, if you're feeling tired, just keep that nice and easy. If you want a bit more of a vigorous connection, and we can tap the side of the body like this. That's it. Okay, and shaking out. Okay, brilliant. Okay, how about that? Very different approach there, much more internal, looking after our zone Qi, connecting the lungs and the spleen together through the Tai Yin system. And we use that to give ourselves a really nice feeling of balance between heaven and earth. The lungs bring the Qi in from the air, so they connect with the heavens, and they just send it down. The spleen holds the body up. It gives you a sense of lightness, and it also connects with the whole digestive tube. So it's a really sort of kind of deep internal work there on the Tai Yin system. Hope you enjoyed it. But we do need a bit of time at the end just to clear out any yang channel obstructions in the head and neck, because it's more of a yang thing. It's more of an external thing. So why don't we do that now? Okay, so here we are. We're going to rub our hands together. Just come a little bit closer so we can get a bit of a close-up. Okay, so we're rubbing your hands together. And we're going to work the head and neck. So we're just going to tap along the top of the bladder channel here. That's it. Work here. Along the bladder. And then down the back of the neck. Just tapping right along here. Okay, so that's the back of the neck. That's the bladder and small intestine channels. Now we've got the side, which is the triple heater and the gallbladder. They kind of pair together. So let's just tap or squash the sides of the body, sides of the head. It actually connects with the eyes. I'm just going to rub my eyes a bit actually, just get them connected to the temples. A couple of really good acupuncture points there. And around we go. Okay, and then down here, this is where we pick up, remember this is large intestine and we've got stomach. So we've got stomach and large intestine. This is again all more the front of the body. And this connects with the front of the SCM muscle. Oh, lovely, great stretches. Okay, let's just make sure that the jaw is really relaxed. Can you open up the jaw? Make sure that there's no tension around here. Unsurprisingly, the jaw is connected to the stomach channel. Again, it's all part of the whole digestive tube thing that we've been working with the spleen and the Tai Yin. Much better. Brilliant. Okay, excellent. So now let's connect that with the bladder channel on the back, really important because we haven't done that yet. So we're going to tap here, tap down the bladder channel, and just see how low you can get. And down. Down we go. And go down onto the foot. Okay, now another really good way of getting to the back, because it's kind of hard to get to with Doin, is to do some stretches. So let's just do some of those really nice easy stretches, which are going to literally just allow us to go down like this. Good idea to start to open up kidney 1, feel our weight down going down, and let the back stretch out nice and easy. Use the weight of the head just to let the back straighten out. And then we're going to slowly come up, breathing in, lift the hands up, very gently lifting the head up and stretching backwards. Breathing in and breathing out and floating down. Ready? A couple more times. Let's breathe in, come up, breathe out, go back. Breathe in and float down. Hanging again, breathing in, coming up, and breathing out. Okay, excellent. So now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, he's forgotten point of the week. No, I haven't. I've got point of the week right here, and it's actually spleen 6. I've got it prepared here. We've got spleen 3, which we did, I mentioned today, and we did that last week. And remember, and you see it says heaviness in all 3 heaters right there. So that's exactly why I thought it would be a good idea to put that onto the foot massage that we did. Okay, and we've actually got spleen 6 now. If you're pregnant, you shouldn't press this point, or if you think you're pregnant. And what it is it's a very important point because all the 3 yin channels of the leg meet together, and it resolves damp. Just so it might be an interesting idea just to hold that point. It's 1 finger width up from the ankle. Just do an experiment and see whether we can feel all of the 3 yin channels of the leg activated. So here we are. Look, what we can do is, if you can do this, measure 1 hand width like that up from the ankle and find out where it is. It's often a little bit sensitive, especially in women, because it's related to the whole menstrual system. And we're just going to find it. So measuring up 1 hand's breadth up from the ankle. We're just going to relax, lean forwards, okay? Relax our hips. Gently press in. You can usually find this point pretty easy because it's fairly sensitive. You might just have to adjust the positioning. You're going to gently press in and then tune into the inside of your legs and see if you can feel kind of like a warm activation all the way up the inside of the legs and then into the groin. If you've got that feeling, you've activated spleen 6 because it's got a strong connection with all 3 yin meridians in the legs. And you can imagine we use that point a lot in Shiatsu for all kinds of different conditions. So there we are. And if you may be able to go down towards, bring your attention down towards your feet, and you can feel the yin channels opening up into the leg as well. Super important point, very, very powerful for doing that. So again, if you have kind of any weakness in the lower burner, middle burner, upper burner, you want to regulate those 3 yins. That's the spleen, the kidney, and the liver. That's the point for you. Okay, excellent. We've just got 5 minutes left, and what I'd like to do now is I'd like to integrate everything and really see if we can get ourselves nicely poised between heaven and earth to last us for the next week. And one of the best ways to do this is a very simple Tai Chi breathing exercise, but as we do it, we'll activate the spleen and the lung channels, the Tai Yin system, again to give us that feeling of poise between heaven and earth. Shall we try it? Okay, so here we go. Got feet shoulder width apart, relaxing the knees, relaxing the hips. Excellent stuff. We are now going to do this movement, okay? But we're going to first of all activate the lungs and then activate the spleen. Here we go. Head floating up, relaxing and opening up the whole upper burner. Breathing in, breathing out. Hold the chi in the chest and then breathe out and descend it downwards towards the feet. Excellent, okay? Did you get it? So we're breathing the chi into the upper burner. Okay, holding it in the upper burner and then breathing out, descending the chi down, all the way down to the feet. And the hand gesture is almost like you're pressing the Qi down towards the feet. Got it? Let's do it a few more times now, breathing in. Really feel that song here, the chest, and we breathe out. Send the Qi down into the feet. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Send that Qi down. Let's do a couple more. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, excellent. So now let's work on the spleen channel and we'll get that lovely balance in our Tai Yin. Always a good way to end the class. So we're going to do that by opening up spleen 3. Remember where that was? I just showed you on the slides. It's just inside the foot here. So we're going to open that up. If you want to just roll your feet like this, roll them and to activate that point a little bit so you know where it is. Connect with the earth. Relax. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to imagine in a way that Qi is coming up from the earth into the middle burner and then we descend it down again. That's the upward action of the spleen. Let's try it. Okay. So opening up spleen 3, breathing in, imagining Qi coming up from the earth. Feel that earth Qi, that yin energy, and then we're going to breathe out and send it back down again, like a root through the feet down into the earth. Okay, we can send that down through kidney 1. So we're breathing up through spleen 3 and up through the spleen channel. And we're breathing out. Down through kidney 1. Breathe in. Breathe out. Have you got it? Okay, just imagine that Qi coming up from the earth. And breathe out. Qi from the earth. Grounding. Just do one more. And breathe out. Okay, excellent. What a lovely class. I hope you enjoyed it. Really nice feeling of freedom. Lovely, nice, strong energy here. Relaxed digestive system. And a nice feeling of rootedness. Hopefully now we'll feel poised between heaven and earth to take us through into the next week. Okay, excellent. Let's check in with Dinah, make sure everything's been okay on the chat. Maybe Dinah wants to come back on the screen. Let's have a quick look at the chat and see what's been going on. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, let me just, it looks like some people are just wondering where the spleen 3 is. I'll just put spleen.
I just shared that for fun.
Yeah, there we are, look. That's where spleen 3 is.
Yeah, if you had a bunion, it'd be just behind it.
Yeah. There we are. I did a slightly different class today, Dinah. A little bit more internal.
It was lovely. Just
good.
And the thing is, this time of year, everybody wants to be outside and breathing outside. So nice to spend just a little time going inward.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, brilliant.
It was gorgeous. Thank you.
Okay, look, Mary says she works on spleen 3, kidney 1 and stomach 44 daily when lifting my legs out of bed. It's a great combination. Thank you, Mary, for that.
Excellent.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, good. Excellent, everyone. Thank you very much.
Playing with the yoga.
Yeah, I think you probably realise why I did some of these exercises. Okay, good. Excellent. I'm going to put a heart on the chat and then we can go about our week. It's 11 o'clock. It's been great to spend some time with everyone. And thank you, Dinah. And yeah, see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.